Live, local, now. This is WSFA 12 News at 10.
When Diane Bentley filed for divorce last year, rumors swirled that the governor was carrying on an extramarital affair with someone in his administration. A new safety protocol you'll notice this year, metal detecting wands at every entrance. This is just one of nearly 10 to 15 severely damaged roads here in Macon County. Dorsey officials say the damage was sustained to an older prep storage area. Now, as you can see behind me, crews are still here. It's cleared out for the most part, but those crews are doing what's called salvage and recover. Hey, Sally, it's probably hard to recognize exactly where I'm at right now, but chances are if you've lived here long enough, you remember the Governor's House Hotel. Some experts point to cheap foreign glass or tempered glass. We're still awaiting word from fire officials at this hour whether or not warming stations and shelters will be open here in Selma, so follow me on Twitter for the very latest. It takes 40 minutes to stitch a single Peach Bowl logo, and if Alabama advances, F&E Sportswear will have to hire an additional 10 employees just to keep up with the workload. That means all these folks driving right now need to be on high alert. Law enforcement brutality on Bloody Sunday, that's a big aspect of this. As a member of law enforcement, I guess tell me what it's like to reflect upon that and be here in the capacity that you're in today.
At 5.
Despite a city dispute over fees, busloads of people from around the country arrived in Selma to commemorate an important day in American civil rights history. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kacey Drescher. A controversial voting issue that has been discussed for years in Alabama was a source of tension during a Jubilee church service this morning. I have to ask you, while I've got you, Ryan Lochte apologized in an interview with NBC's Matt Lauer, and today we're hearing from U.S. officials that the story isn't over. Maybe one of those personalized fans, maybe some extra deodorant. I don't know.
I know Amanda and Maria, they had the Spritz fans at the food.
The misters, those are heaven. Yeah. A Facebook post showing images of a baby's rescue from inside a hot car in Montgomery has residents outraged. Moore was removed from office in 2003 for the 10 Commandments statue situation, but he's been suspended this time. What's the difference? Schools and offices all over Alabama are slammed with sickness. They're seeing everything from strep to respiratory infections and even the flu. A lot of buzz online. The owners of the drive-in theater in DeKalb County will not show the new live version of Beauty and the Beast. They say they are uncomfortable with some of the film's content. Well, it may be March, but a neighborhood in the Birmingham area is decking its halls to show support for a neighbor. It all started when an elderly man discovered a nasty note in his mailbox criticizing him for leaving up his Christmas lights. Today marks 1 year since the shooting death of a Montgomery man at the hands of a police officer. Gregory Gunn was shot in the early morning hours of February 25th, 2016. Officer Aaron Smith is now facing a murder charge. Look at this. We're providing not only your first alert weather, but we're helping you out with your love life a little bit, making sure there's no problems in paradise. Look at that. Annie Kate Beard has been looking over her shoulder since Wednesday afternoon.
It's awful feeling. Oh.
The 86-year-old had just returned from running errands to her home of 50 years on Carlisle Street when
I went to turn around and close the door. And the gun was pointing in my face.
It was here where Miss Beard found herself staring down the barrel of a gun. The thief may have attacked her and made off with her purse, but she didn't go down without a fight.
About 6 of Sprite in this hand. And when I looked around, turn around, and he had the gun pointed in my face. And the first thing I thought hit him with that.
Now she's out $300 and missing important personal documents.
I kept screaming and screaming.
Shaken up and a little bruised.
It hit me on the face here. Hit me, I guess you can kind of see.
Beard says the robber was wearing a mask, a cap, and had gloves on.
What kind of street credit, if that's what you're looking for, or what type of benefit could you get?
Beard's son drove 24 hours straight from Texas to be by his mother's side. He hopes the criminal is brought to justice and doesn't hurt anyone else.
It goes to show what we are dealing with in society, you know. It goes to show what kind of people mentality we have come to.
According to MPD, no arrests have been made. In Montgomery, Kacey Drescher, WSFA 12 News.
Oh my God.
The grief weighing on Sheila Rowland's shoulders is almost too much to bear.
Having to bury two people, even on both sides, trying to come up with money is hard.
Her daughter-in-law, Kaylin Rowland, was in Selma last Friday, making funeral arrangements for her mother, Roberta Lynn, who had died just the day before. Family members say she was on a haystack talking with someone on the phone when she was attacked.
The ants started coming out and started getting all over, and she came off the haystack, and my son said he grabbed her and he took her and put her on the ground and took her clothes off, trying to help her and save her, but he couldn't save her.
According to family members, Kaylin is severely allergic to fire ants and started swelling to the point where she couldn't breathe.
She died in my son's arms. It was, I can imagine what he's going through right now, and then having to save her mother too.
The 29-year-old leaves behind a husband and 2 young boys.
I wish I could do more for him. I wish I could take that load off of him.
Kaylin's best friend remembers the good times.
She'd be in a really bad mood, but she'd always laugh at me and tell me, "You crazy girl."
And urges anyone with severe allergies to get an EpiPen.
There's just nothing really that you can do, nothing you can say, because there's nothing that's going to bring her back.
To give you an idea as to how rare this tragedy is, according to the state health department, in 2013, 14, and 15 combined, there were 3 deaths by yellow jackets or bees and 1 death by snake, but no reported deaths by ants in Alabama. Now, the family has set up a GoFundMe account to help offset funeral costs. If you'd like to help, you can find more information in this story on WSFA.com. Val.
All right, thanks a lot, Kacey.